So in this lesson, we're going to start off with the first right-hand rule, which is how do moving charges interact with magnetic fields. Now, like electric fields, right, when charges are within an electric field, they experience a force, but a similar thing happens, but it's very, very different. The direction of the force in an electric field is more straightforward. The direction of a force in a magnetic field is much trickier to understand. It has to do with how the charge moves, and that's what we're going to be covering in this lesson. All right, so now we're going to look at magnetic forces on charges, and this is a little bit trickier because in electrostatic force, all that mattered was the electric field direction and then the amount of the charge, okay? The magnetic force is a bit more complicated, and you might ask, why is it so complicated? That's just what happens. That's just how the interaction between charges and magnetic fields work. But the magnetic force depends on the direction of the motion of the charge, the amount of the charge, and how fast it's moving, actually. And so it's not an intuitive rule. This is a tricky one, but a lot of people get confused between the electrostatic force and magnetic force because of that relationship. There's a rule for electric force and electric field and magnetic force and magnetic field, okay? So here's the general formula. There's kind of three forms, and the best analogy I'm going to teach you is it's very similar to how we calculated torque, okay, if we back from AP Physics 1. The velocity and magnetic, so the three components that come into here to determine the force is the charge, the velocity vector, the direction that it's moving and its speed, and the magnetic field, and that will dictate the force. Now, the key thing about the velocity and the magnetic field is they must be a component perpendicular. Just like when we did torque, there was a force and an R vector, we only cared about how they were perpendicular to each other. Similar to the magnetic force, it matters how the velocity and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. For example, if the magnetic field is up and the charge is moving up, there's actually no magnetic force. There must be a component of the velocity that's perpendicular to the magnetic field in order for there to be any magnetic force on it. So this tricky thing we call a cross product for vectors, and it has a specific right-hand rule for the direction. So let's look at the direction. This is how we calculate the direction of the magnetic force. Okay, so in general, this is true for any cross product, but the way you want to think about it is from your right hand, you have the result of the cross product, the first vector, and the second vector. Okay, so in this case, my thumb is going to be the force vector. Okay. My index finger will be the velocity, and my B will be the magnetic field. Now, the way you want to do this, and I'll show you this on a camera first, you want to take your right hand. This is different than the current one. This is a different right hand rule. Your fingers make a corner. All three vectors are perpendicular to each other. My thumb makes a right angle with my middle finger, makes a right angle with my middle finger. It makes a right angle with my index finger here, okay? And then my index finger makes a right angle with the middle finger as well. So all three fingers are perpendicular to each other, okay, depending on how you rotate and look at it, but they all make a right angle to each other. And so you make the index finger the velocity. It's almost like you go left to right in your fingers. You got three fingers, thumb, index finger. This is the F, okay? This is the velocity, this is the magnetic field. So let's go back to here. So it's a similar thing. You're going to go in order: thumb, index finger, middle finger. Okay? Now, this is true for positive charges. If you have a negative charge, you simply reduce the result of the right-hand rule. So whatever you get with the right-hand rule, you just flip the sign of it. Now, because we have a third direction, just like the 3D, we use dots for pointing out of the page and crosses pointing into the page, just like we did for magnetic fields. And so it is important to note that cross product is not a commutative operation. That is, you cannot write the force equation as just swapping these two here. It does matter that it goes this one first and this one, because that will change how you set up your right hand. So this would be an incorrect equation. This is probably one of the most useful things that you say is not commutative property. I cannot swap the order that I'm doing this. The equation has to be in this order, and my fingers must be in this specific order for the right hand rule. That's how we get the direction. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's find the direction of the magnetic force on a positive charge that moves in each of these 6 cases, okay? So again, here's my fingers. So I have a velocity pointing down. So index finger has to point down. I can't shift my fingers. All I'm gonna do is rotate my fingers to where this one's down in the direction of the velocity. The B is out of the page, so my middle finger wants to point towards me, which is what I have right now. So you want to do this with me, okay? So you're gonna take your right hand, index fingers down, middle finger's pointing at you, and you can see my thumb is pointing to the left. Yeah, so then the force, the magnetic force, is gonna be this way here. Okay, let's do this second one here. Index finger, velocity is pointing up. My middle finger is the magnetic field. It needs to point to the right, but I still need this to point up, so I gotta rotate my hand to where my middle finger is now pointing to my right, my velocity is still pointing up, and my thumb is now pointing into the page, and so the force would be going into the page. Okay, let's look at the, remember C here. Velocity's to the right, magnetic field is going, actually, sorry, A I had wrong. The magnetic field is coming out of the page, sorry. So this was down, oh no, I did that right. Okay, that was correct. Sorry, I was thinking I did this wrong. I thought I missed. Sometimes I confuse into and out of the page. That's really easy. So here the velocity is going to the right. The magnetic field is going into the page, right? The X means into the page. So I have it, oops, over here. So velocity to the right, middle finger into the page. My thumb is pointing up. So the force is going upwards here. Here the velocity is parallel, or you say anti-parallel, but there's no perpendicular component. Here the force is 0. Here the velocity is into the page, so I'm going to make my index finger point into the page. I need to rotate my middle finger to point up. Okay, so my index finger, the velocity is still into the screen or into the page. My magnetic field is pointing up, and so you see my thumb is pointing to my right, so the force here is to the right. Here the velocity is coming out of the page, so my index finger is pointing at me. The magnetic field is to the left, so I want to rotate it to where the index finger is still pointing at me, and my middle finger and the magnetic field still pointing to the left. My thumb is pointing down, and so that is the direction of the force. So one thing to keep in mind, all three vectors have to be perpendicular to each other. That's a property of when we do that cross product. Is the result is that this new vector, this force vector, is perpendicular to both the velocity and the magnetic field. Okay, that's why we use our right hand. You're not allowed to wiggle the fingers around. You just rotate the orientation of your right hand. Let's look at an example of a problem. So at the instance shown above, a negatively charged object moving to the left with constant velocity near a long straight wire. It's a current I directed to the left. So we have a current this way. The region contains a uniform electric field of magnitude E, and the charged object has the distance d from the wire. The figure shows the electric and magnetic forces Fe and Fm respectively. It's going constant velocity. So what they're telling you here in this free body diagram is that the magnetic force is equal to the electrostatic force here. Derive an expression for the velocity in terms of E, D, and I. So first, the electric force is just Q times the electric field. Now, the Q is a negatively charged object. Okay, so it's Q times the electric field there. Okay, now the magnetic field. Okay, so the magnetic force, right, is QV cross B. Now, we have the V, what is the direction of the magnetic field? Okay, so what we're having here is the magnetic field, if we use our thumb, because the wire is creating that magnetic field. So our thumb is pointing to the left, and we're curling, right, that previous lesson, we're curling, it's going up in front of me into the page, then down behind it, and then out of the page. So the magnetic field is going like this into the page, and then down behind it, and then out of the page. So you see the magnetic field is into the page. That's perpendicular to the velocity. So you're just going to multiply those two because they're already at right angle. So then you have QVB is equal to Q times the electric field. Now, the B from the wire is mu naught I over 2 pi r. And so I is the current in the wire, which is I. And then the distance to there is D. So then it's QV times mu naught I over 2 pi d has to equal QE. The Q's cancel. We don't have the Q actually. And we can solve for the V. V is going to be 2 pi multiplied to 2 pi d and divided by the mu naught I. And we can use all those variables. And that's it. Okay. Let's look at another problem here. So that one that uses the right-hand rule. We have a particle moving to the right. It's positively charged. It's moving in a region shown by a dashed box. Contains a uniform field. Draw a possible path of the region if the region contains only electric field towards the bottom of the page. So here we have an electric field towards the bottom of a page. What that means is that a positive charge will experience a force in the direction of the electric field. So you're going to have a downward force. And so when this guy enters, he's going to go down in like that. Okay, so something like that. On the figure, draw a possible path if it contains only a magnetic field out of the page. So here we're saying there's a magnetic field out of the page. Okay, and the velocity is to the right. So now we use our right-hand rule. My charge is to the right. Magnetic field's pointing out of the page. So I got to rotate my hand so that this is still right. This is pointing, the magnetic field's pointing towards me. My thumb is pointing down. So we're going to have a magnetic field, again, pointing down, and it's going to do something like that. Okay, which one is more similar to the projectile motion near the Earth's surface and why? Now, the thing about the magnetic field, and we're going to talk about this in a later lesson, but this thing, the magnetic force actually changes because as the velocity changes, so now if the velocity is down and to the right and the magnetic field's towards me, notice that as the velocity rotates, the magnetic force is going to rotate. So the magnetic force is actually going to change as the velocity direction changes, like that. That would be the directions of the magnetic force. Whereas the electric force will always be in the direction of the electric field. So it's more like the electric field. Because when you're near the surface of the Earth, you have a constant downward force of mg. And here you'd have a constant downward force of QE. This one, the force would be constant, but it actually will change direction. So it won't quite be like near the surface of the Earth. It doesn't, as you move, it's not like the force of gravity changes directions. It's still pointing downward. Okay, here we have another region. We have a proton beam. These are positive charges. And we have a electric field towards the top of the page, magnetic field directed out of the page. Both fields are uniform, horizontal beam of protons with a variety of speeds enter the region. Protons exit the region at a variety of locations, including points 1 and 2. In a coherent paragraph, explain why some protons exit the region at point 1. So why do some go up here like this, some come down here like this? Has to do with the strength of the different forces, right? So what's going to happen is you're going to have, because these are positive charges, you are going to have an electric force up that's equal to Q times the electric field. That's the same. But the magnetic force, if we think about our right-hand rule, charges to the right, magnetic field out of the page, we have my thumb pointing down, you'll have a magnetic force pointing down. And so what happens is the magnetic force depends on how fast we're going. Like the magnetic field can be the same strength, but the speed of it. So the ones that are going to number 2, basically they have a stronger velocity, they have a greater velocity. So that means the downward force is greater. Whereas the ones that are going up to 1, the electric force is greater, which means they're going slower. I'm not going to write a whole paragraph, but slower is going to equal going through path 1, and faster will be going through path 2. And it has to do with the fact that the force, the magnetic force, is going to vary in strength because of the different speeds. If you found this video helpful, come check out our school community. It's got an amazing bunch of features. It's got extra videos, corrected videos, better than the ones that I have errors on YouTube. It's got multiple choice free response questions. I hold live Q&A sessions and go through more problems and I answer students' questions, help with schoolwork, all kinds of things. If you want to check it out, look in the description below or check out the website and find us in the school community. You get a 7-day free trial to give it a shot, just to check it out, see what it's like, come join some calls, and honestly, come learn AP Physics 1 even faster with us.